Ravendran. Ms. Anuradha is a passionate and dedicated primary mathematics educator at the Sri Ram Universal School, Hyderabad. She teaches students from grades 2 to 5, creating a vibrant and inclusive learning environment where every child feels empowered to explore the beauty of numbers. Her classroom is a space of curiosity and joy, where mathematical concepts are brought to life through interactive activities, real-world connections, and differentiated instruction tailored to diverse learning styles. Her students thrive under her guidance, developing not only numerical fluency but also a genuine love for the subject. What makes Ms. Anuradha's journey especially inspiring is her transition from a successful career in information technology to the world of education. Motivated by a deep desire to make a meaningful impact, she embraced teaching as a calling, bringing with her a unique blend of analytical thinking and empathetic pedagogy. Ms. Anuradha exemplifies the spirit of lifelong learning and educational leadership, making her a valued member of the school community and a role model for aspiring educators. Hearty welcome, Ms. Anuradha. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir.
The stage is yours.
Thank you. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'll start then. We'll start with the evening. So, good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all the educators and participants on behalf of Extra Mile Education and Training. Your presence here reflects a shared commitment to shaping a future ready generation. Extra Mile is a leading force in professional development established under the inspiring leadership of Dr. Abdul Salam as part of the Bharat Transformers and Academic Group, BTAC. Backed by a strong network of expert trainers, Extra Mile is well positioned to provide a tailored training program both online and offline across the country. I'm truly grateful to Dr. Abdul Salam and the Extra Mile Education and Training team for giving me the honor of moderating today's session. We are here to uncover a powerful educational shift, how nano and micro learning are reshaping teaching practices. In a world of shrinking attention spans, this approach offers teachers a fresh opportunity to innovate, simplify, and connect with learners like never before. Let us explore how these bite sized strategies can make a big impact in our classrooms. However, before we begin, I would like to highlight a few points for your reference. If you have a query, please feel free to share them via the chat box. For a more interactive experience, you may ask questions by raising your virtual hand. And finally, to receive your certificate of participation, kindly fill out the certificate and feedback form, which will be shared at the end of the session. Before we move to the technical learning of the day, I would like to introduce the key members of the BTAC team, starting with Dr. Abdul Salam. A distinguished CBSE resource person and master trainer, Dr. Salam has a wealth of experience and has made significant contributions to the education sector. He serves as an assessor for National Accreditation Board for Education and Training, which is under the Government of India. He is the visionary founder and CEO of Extra Mile Education and Training and Bharat Transformers Academic Group, the BETA Group. Sir, without further ado, I invite you to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Ms. Anuradha. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Biju sir, respected resource person, Ms. Amira, and all educators. Well, nano and micro teaching. When I came across this topic, I was wondering the relevance of this topic at the present education scenario. I found that there are lots of researchers that have revealed that the attention span of students is greatly decreasing. And when I was studying in school and all, it was said that 25 minutes is the attention span. And surprisingly, it came to 12 seconds in 2000. Can we believe? So now in 2025, the attention span of human being is 8.25 seconds. 8.25 seconds. So we can very well imagine the students' attention span in classroom. So no student can retain the attention for more than a few seconds nowadays. Greatly, we must be knowing the reasons and all, greatly due to the screen time, digital, what do you call, kind of addiction, digital addiction, and the related things, TikTok, all these reels and all are, causing delays or decrease attention span decrease. So the future of education is nano and micro learning. That's why we are here. And a big thanks to Miss Amira for taking up this particular topic. And let us, explore through micro and nano teaching. And definitely, this is going to be the future of education. We have to implement it in the classroom. Education is going to be delivered in chunks. So let's see over to the moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Rightly said, Dr. Salam. And thank you for your encouraging vision that keeps us moving towards excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also privileged to have with us Mr. Biju S. Pillai, a veteran educator. He is currently serving as the principal of Sri Chitra Public School, Tiruvananthapuram. It is an honor to have you with us today. I request Mr. Biju to share his thoughts with the gathering.
Thank you, Anuradha ma'am. Most respected Program Director, Dr. Abdul Salam sir, today's resource person Amira ma'am, and all other educators. So this is actually a very important and new topic, which almost all the teachers, it is actually a need to have such a session, so that as our directors are told, now children are less concentrating towards or their concentrating power or to one particular point or suggestions, they don't have much time to listen. So very soon they get diverted. So how teachers can schedule their topics in a nano thing, so that it can be in a audiovisual thing or a clippings or such recordings which can be in a very less duration, which makes the children more attractive, and in their long-term memory it can store and get recollected very fast. So how to tackle this situation? We can know much more about from our Amira ma'am. So let's have this evening more knowledgeable from this session. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Rightly said, we are all keen to know these questions, that these are very alarming questions that we have in our minds, and we are looking forward. Thank you so much, sir, for your warm address. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person for today's session, Ms. Amira Ansari. Ms. Amira is the principal of SSBT's English Medium School, Jalgaon. She is a passionate educator with over 15 years of experience in polytechnic, engineering, and CBSE schools. She holds a master's in computer science, B.Ed, ECCE certification, and is a certified QCI NABT assessor who has led schools accreditation processes from 2019 to 2025. Ms. Amera received the Global Teacher Award 2023, mentored student projects involving microbit coding, which were selected for the National CBSE Expo, and filed patents for student-led projects. She is also a published researcher and the author of the debut poetry book titled Whispers of the Soul, A Journey Through the Depth of Emotions, which was nominated for the 21st Century Emily Dickinson Award. We are delighted to have her with us today. On behalf of everyone here, I extend a warm welcome to you, ma'am, and invite you to share your expertise with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So let us begin with today's session. Good evening to all the educators out here. So our today's topic is regarding the micro and nano learning. As you all know that in this constantly evolving educational landscape, we as teachers need agile and accessible ways to stay updated and also to enhance our teaching skills. So micro and nano learning will provide just that, delivering short, focused learning experiences that would fit into even the busiest schedules. And by offering quick insights, practical strategies, and targeted content, these bite-sized formats would definitely empower the educators to continuously improve their practice, adopt new methodologies, and confidently address the diverse needs of our students. So today's session is not just about learning, it's about empowering educators to teach more effectively every day.
Yes, ma'am, we can see the PPT.
Okay. So microlearning and nano learning for modern classrooms. Before we begin with today's session, I would like to put out one question to all the educators out here. I would like you all to share what challenges you face in keeping the students engaged during the longer sessions. Uh, I want you all to share out your opinions regarding this. What challenges are we facing to engage the students during the longer sessions? And most probably the theory sessions, it is very difficult to engage the students. So what challenges are we facing? I would like you all to raise your hands, or you can put your answers in the chat box also.
Yes, they have started messaging, ma'am. They've said about concentration. They get bored easily. They don't show interest after 5 minutes. These
Yeah.
less span of attention. They start get fidgeting also, right? They keep fidgeting, and
Yeah.
boredom to interact with every child is difficult. Distractions. They want very short and crisp. The information should to be short and crisp. Get
Yeah.
distracted after a few seconds. Yes.
Yeah.
Lack of attention and concentration.
Yeah.
Evade questions. They evade questions.
So many challenges we are facing as educators. See, the basic thing is what we feel is due to the preparation issues of the teachers, and like we always feel that I as the teacher is not able to engage the students, and we prepare our lessons so well, we prepare so many activities, we prepare we use different pedagogies and strategies to engage the student. But in today's session we would see like what is happening at the other end, what exactly is the requirement of the student, and even after doing so much, why are we not able to engage, why are we not able to motivate the students, and why the students are being distracted in our classes. I would like to give an introduction to the tiny trend in education. And what is the challenge is we all might have observed that post 2020, the student attention spans are shrinking. The students are not able to concentrate for a longer duration. And even the rise of the Zoom fatigue has impacted both the learners and the teachers. Even the educators need efficient and engaging teaching methods, like how to engage the student. And we are all realizing day by day that the traditional methods are not more engaging, and it is not so useful to grab the attention of the students. And if we talk about the solution, like micro and nano learning, and when we are using these words about micro and nano, we come across, when we go into the literal meaning of micro and nano, it means small, or it means bite-sized learning. So if the students are not able to concentrate for the longer sessions, why not offer a bite-sized learning module for them, which would be accessible, which would be entertaining, which would be targeted, and which would also be flexible. So what will happen is the learning will happen in the approach what the students are expecting, what is suitable for the students. And what are these methods? When we talk about micro learning, the duration would be 15 minutes, and it would focus on one specific learning objective. And when we are talking about nano learning, the duration would be 1 to 10 minutes, and it would be focusing on 1 to 3 ultra specific skills. Now let us learn in more detail about these methodologies. So we have learned about a new word, that is a new definition we have come across, that is the bite-sized learning. So what exactly it means is, if we are teaching a topic and the whole of the topic the students are not able to digest, so why not divide the topic into small chunks or small bites and deliver it in these small bites, like every day. On Monday, a small portion of the topic, on Tuesday another small part of the topic, on Wednesday again small. So what will happen gradually, in few days the students would be definitely learning the whole of the topic. So this is what is bite-sized learning. And I would like you to answer out to this question: how exactly the learning happens? To all the educators out here, like, we are preparing so much, we are like preparing the activities, we are doing activity based learning, we are doing project based learning. Have we ever wondered that how really learning happens in the students? Would anyone like to share their opinion regarding this?
Experiential learning is what Miss Swati has shared, through activities and some auditory.
Okay.
I would feel sometimes peer learning also is something they use.
Yeah, exactly. Even peer learning. So the thing is, how learning happens, we remember of 20% what we hear. Okay, if the we all have learned about the VARK model, isn't it? VARK. Would anyone like to define the VARK in the VARK model? From the educators out here, would anyone like to define the what VARK stands in the VARK model?
Someone, Sangeeta and Dvipti have mentioned visual. V stands for visual.
Yeah. Very well said, ma'am. V stands for visual, A stands for auditory.
Auditory,
Yeah.
read and write, and then kinesthetic.
Kinesthetic, yeah.
Kinesthetic.
So the students, when we are giving them the work, they will learn a major portion or major percentage. Why?
Mhm.
Because see, 20% of what we hear. If our lesson is based only on we are teaching, students are only listening, then they would understand only 20% of whatever we are teaching. Then again, 30% of what we see. If we are making the teaching visual, then the students would be able to understand 30% of whatever topic we are teaching. And then it is 50% of what we see and what we hear. So if we are showing some pictures, if we are showing some diagrams, if we are showing some videos, then definitely our classes get becoming more engaging and students would be able to learn and retain the knowledge of 50% whatever we have taught, and 90% of what we see, what we hear, and what we do. So if we are giving some hands-on activity, or if we are giving them experiential learning, then the students would be able to learn up to 90% of whatever topic we are teaching. So this is how the learning happens. So the highlights of today's session, we already know the core idea, the briefer the better, that is the micro and nano learning. Certain key questions that we are going to explore throughout the session is: why are these trends gaining traction in the classroom? What are their real benefits for both the students and the teachers? How do micro and nano learning differ in purpose and design? And is this just a passing fad or a lasting shift in the teaching? We are going to explore out all these questions in today's session. And what you will learn in this session is clear distinction between what is micro and nano learning, the value and impact these methods bring to the classroom, how to leverage these tools for better engagement and outcomes, whether and how to adopt to this emerging shift in education. So let us proceed to the next part. What is microlearning? When we talk about the definition, microlearning is a brief, focused learning strategy that helps us to deliver bite-sized lessons. And it is designed to maximize the engagement, retention, and comprehension across K to 12. That is right from the pre-primary up to grade 12, higher education, and even in professional training. And when we talk about the key features, so single or concept focus, so we can focus on some single skill or we can also focus on the concept. It is delivered through short activities and mini lessons. It is ideal for students as well as adults. And we can use multimedia content like text, images, audio, and video. When we talk about why microlearning matters, let me tell you a few benefits and why does this matter is the real world application. So when we talk about K to 12 classrooms, so we can use micro and nano to reinforce the lessons or to introduce new concepts quickly. So even if we are following the 5E lesson plan as per John Piaget's theory, so the first part is to engage the students, right? To engage the students, we can use this micro and nano learnings to arouse their attention and to so that whatever knowledge they know, they can share out their ideas also. And then the next application is regarding the workplace training, onboard skill updates, and professional development. Even for teachers' professional development, definitely micro and nano would be very, very useful tool because even we as teachers are not having so much of time in today's world. So definitely this would be a boon to all of us. And next is the personal learning apps and podcast or micro courses. So we as teachers, if we are developing certain content for our students, then concept by concept we can put up these chunks and we can develop certain app or micro courses for our students. Then talking about the benefit, it engages the shorter attention span. As we all know that today and the students and whatever the generation we are dealing with, like the Gen Zs, I guess the 8 to 12 students would be belonging to the generation Z, and the upcoming generations are the alpha generation and the beta generation. And these students and these children are born with mobile phone and technology in the world of technology. So definitely it is very, very difficult to grab their attention because these students see the reels, hardly it lasts for 8 to 10 seconds. They scroll the YouTube shorts, so their attention span is very, very small. Even we need to suit ourselves to their requirement of learning. So definitely to engage them with shorter because they are having shorter attention span, it allows learning anywhere, anytime. This is the beauty of micro and nano learning. Again, it supports the different learning styles. As we all have seen the VARK, so the students have different learning style. All students are not same in our class. Some learn through read and write methods, some learn through visuals, some learn through videos, some learn through hands-on activities. So this micro and nano chunks, whatever we are developing, this would be suitable to different learning styles as well. Even it is low cost and easy to integrate in our day-to-day life. Again, encouraged by post-pandemic digital transformation. As you all know that due to the COVID pandemic, the whole education and even the whole world has like it has become a hybrid module, like classroom teaching as well as digital. So it is a combination of both. So definitely we need to support our students with digital content as well. Again, it is backed by technology. So the rising use of educational apps and the quiz tool. As you know that students have a habit of playing games, so why not engage them in quiz and such kind of applications. Again, gamification and mobile first content is growing rapidly, and also it is supported by platforms like Duolingo, Kahoot, and quizzes. And when we talk about why micro learning matters, so talking about the real world applications, we have already seen K to 12 classroom, workplace training, and again personal learning through apps, podcast, and micro courses. And talking about the benefit, again we have already discussed engaging the shorter attention span, allows learning anytime, anywhere, supports the different learning style. Again, it is low cost, encouraged by post-pandemic digital transformation. When we talk about the benefits, the first benefit is it is a quick development and delivery, like small and short lesson, fast to create. Entire courses can be built in under an hour. And again, it is great for adapting to current events, research updates, or admin guidance. And it can also reduce the teacher workload with content sharing. So this is the benefit of micro learning. Again, it is cost effective, like it is minimal to no special tools are required. Again, low cost and even affordable. And also it is versatile and specific. It works for beginners as well as advanced learners. Again, positive student reception. It feels like checking social media, quick and non-intimidating. Like it will give a feeling to the student that I'm scrolling the reels or something, and the learning is also happening. So it is not that student is feeling that I have to study. Oh, like student they will the learning will happen in a playway method. Okay, if the content is being shared digitally. Again, paper or in-person modules, simple activities and not heavy assignments are there. Again, it can help with engagement and in less preferred even the less preferred subjects, the subjects that the students do not like. So definitely with these small chunks and modules we can engage the students. Again, higher retention, like bite-sized content along with strategic repetition, it will definitely give better memory retention. Again, frequent review and easy comprehension. Also, if we have to revise the concept or if we have to make the student learn the concept, it would be definitely very useful. Again, it will help us to solidify the concept through constant reinforcement. If we are sharing it in the form of video and again the students are watching it, the reinforcement is happening and even the learning would happen definitely. Again, next benefit of micro learning, increased student freedom. It will empower the student agency. They choose what and when to learn. So if we are sharing a pool of videos or a pool of certain learning resources in this manner, it will give a freedom to the student. Like, okay, today I want to study this, let me scroll a few videos, let me go out through certain text whatever the teacher has shared. So a degree of freedom would be given to the student. Then it feels like a learning buffet. Okay, flexible, engaging and personalized. It will give a feel to the student. Again, encourages motivation and curiosity. Now coming up, the next question that comes to our mind is, what are the limitations of micro learning? So let us have a balanced look. We have already seen the advantages. What are the limitations? Let us go through it. So it is not ideal for complex subjects. So as teachers, we should always we should know that when micro and nano would be feasible. So if we are teaching a complex subjects, it would not be very ideal for that. Though for some concept it might be ideal, but some other concepts it won't be ideal. Why? Because difficult to explore deep and multi-layered topics in short bursts. So this is a small chunk of information that we are sharing with the student. So if the concept is very complex, it would be difficult to share in the small chunk. Again, extended explanation, question answers or practice sessions are often needed for complex subjects or topics. And again, teachers may need to creatively break the complex material into the modular segments. So often it would not go feasibly with complex subjects. Again, it is not suitable for every learner, as we have already learnt about the VARK. Like each and every student has a unique learning style. So some students prefer long form of reading or extended learning time. And the learners who need time to grapple with the ideas may find short sessions insufficient. They may require additional teacher support or layered instruction. There might be certain learners, there might be certain students who like to read and write, and after looking at this small chunk of information, they might not be full of information. So it might not be suitable for every learner. Again, teacher consideration, like micro learning is not a one size fits to all solution. It works best when it is integrated into a broader learning strategy. Also, it is used to complement and not replace the deep instruction. Again, tailored with flexibility and student support in mind. So coming up with the next part, what triggered the rise of micro learning and why it has become popular and trendy today. Let us have a look at it. Why micro learning is trending today. So micro learning matches modern attention span and the way people process the information today. As we all know that human attention span is now estimated at 8 seconds, which is less than the attention span of a goldfish. What are the factors leading to this lower attention span? The first factor is the social media overload. We all are addicted to mobile phones and all the videos and our social media platforms where we socialize, we share pictures, we share videos, we see what others have posted. So we all these things have become a fab. And you know, every talking about the students as well as each and every human being, we all are overloaded with social media, right? We cannot survive without it. Again, increased anxiety and stress. It would not be wrong if I say that if we are anxious or if we are stressed out, the mobile phone is can boost our emotion. It is definitely it. I think I'm not wrong regarding this. Again, bite-sized communication styles. Today, we don't like to talk so much. The communication has reduced. Why? Because we are communicating over phones, over messages, and we don't like to talk so much. Rather, we like to share and see what others are doing.
I think these days communication is all through emoticons and all that, right? So
Right. Even through WhatsApp, if we are messaging, we just put emojis and it is done. So bite-sized again communication style. But it is not at all bad. Why it is not bad? Because we are becoming good at multitasking. Again, we are processing complex information in shorter burst and efficiency over endurance. So it is not at all bad. So micro teaching, let us see the procedure at a glance. The first step, how we can do micro teaching, the step number 1 is to define the skill. So we can clearly explain the teaching skill with examples of teacher behaviors, right? Then second one is demonstrate the skill, showcase the skill through some expert demonstration or a video. There are huge number of videos that are available on YouTube. You can see whichever is feasible for your lesson and we can demonstrate the concept through that. Again, we can plan the lesson. So the teacher prepares a short 5 to 10 minute lesson to focused on the specific skill or a topic. Then teach the lesson. Conduct the lesson with a small group, that is 5 to 10 students, observed or recorded, right? So we are going to observe and we are going to record the learning, how the teaching and the students would be observing and recording. Again, feedback and discussion. The supervisor or peers will provide constructive feedback to improve the teaching. Again, replan the lesson. So what the teacher will do, will revise the lesson based on the feedback to better apply the skill. Again, reteach the lesson. Teach the improved version to a new group of students. Again, we can rediscuss or we for the feedback. Again, we will have additional feedback to reinforce the improvement, and we are going to repeat the cycle if needed. So repeat the cycle would be teach, reteach until we become masters in that. So we as teachers are going to learn the new skill of micro teaching. So this is for us. So first we would be defining the skill or the topic, then we are going to demonstrate it and we are going to plan the lesson. The duration would be 5 to 10 minutes. We are going to teach the lesson to a group of 5 to 10 students. Again, we are going to collect the feedback with the peer or the supervisor. So along with the student, if other teachers are sitting, they can provide feedback. Our peer teachers can provide feedback to us. Again, we would replan the lesson and we will revise the our lesson based on the feedback received from the student and our peer teachers or the supervisor. Again, we are going to reteach the lesson to a new group of students. Again, we would be rediscussing for the feedback that we are receiving from the student or the peers. And in this way, we would become masters in micro teaching. So micro learning meets the moment. So why micro learning works now? It responds to how we consume the content today. So we all know that TED videos are available. We all know about Duolingo. We all know about Instagram Reels. We all know about the YouTube Shorts. So, even students as well as adults are more attracted to these things. So what we are going to prioritize short, focused and engaging instructions. Why? Because the student should feel less overwhelmed and more motivated. what is happening is already the students are having less attention span, and if we are making them sit for 30 and 35 minutes of period and we are constantly teaching, the students get overwhelmed and they start feeling restless, they start getting distracted. Why? Because they have become used to, or they are liking Instagram reels. In 20 to 25 second or hardly 15 second they can change if they are not liking it, but here they are not getting that option. Only one teacher and the same mode is going on, so they are not getting that option to change or to scroll up and down, right? So in that way we should think and we should break down the complex concepts. Again, we can review and reinforce the learning, and we can keep the lessons engaging and on track. So there is a shift in education. Through this diagram, we can see strategic nuggets, again, effective delivery. Then we are having short lectures, and then we are having the heavy textbook. So the whole of textbook, in the textbook, if we see from outside to inside this diagram, we are having heavy textbook. The textbooks then we give short lectures depending on that. Then for effective delivery, we need to give strategic nuggets. We need to give the information to the students in small nuggets or chunks. So when we talk about the digital tools for micro learning, so which tools we can use? The first tool and the very much effective tool are the videos, short digestible content, lectures, animations, or explainers. Accessible through platforms like YouTube, Khan Academy, TED Ed. Again, they range in quality and curation is the key. Like we need to find out which would be suitable for our class. Again, educational apps, certain apps are available. The apps are the mainstream tools in modern learning. Over 204 billion downloads in 2019 alone. This is the estimate. It can be custom made or sourced for targeted learning, and these apps offer services anytime and it can be accessed anywhere across the world. Again, the third digital tool is gamification. This turns learning into a fun challenge. It motivates the students, again, the participation and performance. Now, for example, quiz in 5 minutes. So such kind of things we can give to motivate the student and get the score. So highest score will win a badge. So what is happening? We are motivating the student. Again, we are creating a competition, so that again it is a digital platform, so students might definitely it would be engaging and motivating for the students. Why? Because we are providing the badge, so they will do it for the badge. Then again, we are having certain social learning platforms like social media integration, so we can make learning part of students daily feeds. We can use the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts to share the science facts, math tricks, or historical diaries. Again, we can assign some creative challenges to the students, like be a historical figure for a day on Instagram. So it would definitely be motivating for the student, and it is a creative challenge. So what will happen is turn distraction into discovery. So already students are liking to scroll Instagram reels and post reels, then why not we give them activities in that manner? Switching on to nano learning. So after we have seen about the micro learning, that is what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, how we can do micro learning, and what are the digital platforms that we can use for micro learning. Now let us switch on to nano learning. So to define it, we like nano learning is ultra short learning. Micro learning was smaller learning, and nano learning is even smaller than micro learning. So a smaller sibling of micro learning, we can say. The duration is 2 to 5 minutes and it is often in digital format. And talking about the focus, one concept, one formula, or a quick recall. So this is to be covered in nano learning. Again, examples, talking about the example, a 2-minute expert tip video, a pop-up quiz with 3 questions, a single slide explainer on one fact. So these are the examples of nano learning. And what mediums or what platforms we can use: digital first, like mobile apps, we can use messages, we can use video snippets, and it can be delivered in the class or it can be delivered remotely to the students. When we talk, let us compare nano learning and micro learning. So certain similarities are there in nano and micro. Both aim at short focus learning. Again, it is ideal for modern attention spans. We can use video, quiz, chats, and animation. Again, it is backed by same learning science. And real world use, talking about the real world use, it is used for corporate training, edutainment, again upskilling. The platforms we can use are Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. As we all know that Gen Zs and Generation Alpha are all addicted to these kind of platforms. So why not use these platforms and reach out to the students for uh, educating them out there for the education purpose. And talking about the key difference, when we talk about the length, micro learning is 10 to 15 minutes and nano learning is 2 to 5 minutes. Talking about the depth, micro learning covers one small topic and nano learning covers one tiny concept from that topic. Talking about the use case, it can be used for a full module, and nano learning can be used for a mental breakup or a recap. So, summarizing this, I would like to say that nano learning is micro learning's compact cousin, and it is ideal for just-in-time learning in a hyper-distracted world. A question to all the educators out here: how can we integrate nano learning moments into everyday classroom routines without disrupting the syllabus? I would like to share on your ideas regarding this. Either you can raise your hands or you can post your answers in the chat box. How can we integrate nano learning moments into everyday classroom routines without disrupting the syllabus? Please raise your hands or you can put your answers in the chat box.
As of now, I don't see any hands raised. Participants, if you all want to talk or share your reflections here. Some of them have said that, Dviti ma'am has said that summarize the lesson, for summarizing the lesson.
For summarizing the lesson, of course, we can use nano learning moments. A very good idea for that. You can answer in context with your subject as well. The subject
Quiz method.
quiz method, a very
Like
good
password when you enter a classroom, so that they
learned yesterday.
yeah, what they learned yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Small quiz related to the content that they're learning now, maybe. Yes. And break down the various facts, events, and characters of the language lessons.
Yeah, very nice. That would be a really good way.
For recalling the previous concepts and ed puzzle assessments.
Yeah, Pradeep sir has told that divide the topic in small.
Small concepts. Yes.
Yeah, very well said, sir. Uh, Namrata ma'am has told to deliver information
And
and skills.
skills.
Yeah,
Use the first and the last 2 minutes of the class for a quick fact or mini question related to the topic.
yeah, very well said, ma'am. The first and the last 2 minutes we can use for nano learning moments.
Mm-hmm.
Very well said. Information bins. Sangeeta ma'am has told. Vipti ma'am has told for recapitulation.
Recapitulation.
Yeah, very well said, ma'am. So these are the various like we can integrate the
Making mind maps.
making mind maps. Yeah, this is definitely a very good idea. Namrata ma'am has told to break down the complex topics. Yeah,
And
okay.
facts related to the subjects. Lucky dip of the topic in a bowl has to be answered. And
Yeah,
brainstorming.
So these are so many ways everyone have shared how we can integrate nano learning moments into our classrooms. I think again we are having some more answers. Fish bowl questions. Yeah, very. It would be a very engaging method to implement the nano learning in our classrooms. I think that's it. Let us switch on to the next topic. Subject-wise comparison of microlearning versus nano learning. If we are talking about the subject-wise comparison for math, if you are talking about math, so interactive, and if you're talking about micro and nano learning, for micro learning, interactive module on area and perimeter with examples and quiz. This would be in micro learning. And when we talk about nano learning, again, a single concept video, how to find area of rectangle. So micro learning will cover everything. Again, nano learning will focus on a single concept. Okay. Then when we talk about science, the micro learning part, mini lesson on water cycle with a diagram, animation and short test. So this would be covering the whole concept of water cycle in micro learning. And when we talk about nano learning, animated video of what is evaporation. So this would be focusing on one concept. Again, when we are talking about the subject English, the micro learning part would be covering module on types of nouns with examples and worksheet. This is one topic. And when we talk about nano learning, quick video, what is proper noun? So focusing on one concept. Again, when we talk about history, micro learning will be focusing lesson on Indian freedom movement, covering major leaders and events. And the nano learning part, a 2-minute audio story, who was Bhagat Singh. Again, geography, the micro part, concept capsule on types of landforms with map activity. And in nano, we can show a short clip of what is a plateau. So I would like the educators out here, all the teachers out here, to share your ideas, like for each subject, what would be the micro learning part, and from that, what would be the nano learning part. So you all can raise your hands or you can put your answers in the chat box. Like if we are having the subject teachers or the pre-primary teachers over here, then what would be the micro learning part, and from that, what would be the nano learning part? I would like you to share your ideas.
So, ma'am, if it is tables, right? If it is tables in math, so they're writing the entire table and doing table drill math can be micro learning. But for nano learning, it can be small Vedic math trick or have finger tricks for tables, right? That could be.
How the multiplication is happening.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it can be like that. Anyone else would like to share their ideas? You can raise your hands, or you can post your answers in chat box.
Science parts of the plant doodling art. Sangeeta ma'am, you can unmute and you can even share your thoughts. Geography, yeah. Agriculture, types of agriculture as macro, and one type of agriculture as nano, maybe. So type
Yeah.
of maybe nano.
Yes, yes. So you can even raise your hands and answers. Teachers out here, you can raise your hands and answers, or you can post your answers in the chat box. Like for a specific subject, what would be the micro learning and what would be the nano learning part? Nano teaching would be like showing video about the parts of the plant.
Major crops, micro learning, and a particular crop, which is rice, nano learning.
Okay.
Hindi can ask one word answers.
Rupali ma'am has explained some examples for language.
Use single adjectives for character analysis in English. Dvipti ma'am has asked it out. What to do with the reading section in English passage?
So if the passage, would anyone like to answer this question? What to do with the reading section in English passage? If the passage, like the whole passage can be in micro learning, and if we are focusing on certain concept from that passage, that will be on, say, nano learning. Like suppose if the passage is about some author in English, okay, maybe, and we can take one concept from that and we can put it in nano learning.
Or if the passage is about a particular character, then the nano can be a mind map or a character sketch of that character, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Question about the passage.
There could be questions about the passage. That is what Sangeeta ma'am is trying to say.
Okay. So this was about, again, we have, I
Blood
think,
vessels in biology, macro, comparison based diagram of artery and vein as nano.
okay, very well said, ma'am. So this was about the comparison between micro and nano learning. So I think now it is clear in our mind that micro learning would be focusing on one topic and nano learning would be focusing on one concept from that topic. So it will be easy for us to prepare in that way.
So, ma'am, if we are doing, for example, I am basically a math teacher, so I get only math topics. So, I'm asking you. So, like for example, we have taught divisions, right? So, the macro topic is so micro teaching topic is divisions. So, nano, it can be like like the spot the mistakes in common misconceptions or spot the mistakes in division can be treated as nano, right?
Yeah. And even we can show a small demonstration of video, na, like how the division
Yes.
takes place or
Okay.
what exactly is the meaning of division.
Mm-hmm.
We can put that in nano learning. So
Yes.
we are having certain more subjects out here, like for example, computer science, learning module on loops in Python with code practices and a code snippet. We can give that while loop. We can explain the while loop in 2 lines. And if you're talking about EVS, like the micro module on pollution types with MCQs we can give. And in nano learning, we can give 3 causes of air pollution. A that is an as we have learned that nano learning is ultra short uh, part. Okay, so we have to give it in very short. Again, if you are talking about art, then a tutorial on warm and cool colors with drawing task. And nano learning, it can be a time lapse clip blending of 2 colors. We can show how the blending is happening. Again, if you're talking about languages like Hindi, French, or Marathi, then micro can be lesson on tenses with examples and short writing task. And talking about nano, it can be how to say good morning in French, or how to say good morning in Marathi, how to say hello in Hindi. So it can be the nano learning part. Again, when we are talking about economics, the micro part can be concept capsule on inflation and its effect. And when we talk about nano, we can have a visual explainer upon what is inflation in 3 key points. We can summarize the topic in 3 key points. Okay. Uh, then here is a summary of the key differences between micro and nano learning. The duration of micro learning is 10 to 15 minutes and nano learning 2 to 5 minutes. Talking about the depth, micro learning covers the complete concept or the module, and nano learning will focus on one narrow idea or a fact. Talking about the format, micro learning can be in the form of interactive lessons or quiz, and nano learning can be in the form of flashcards, videos, or tips. Then again, talking about the goal, micro learning is for deep understanding, and nano learning is a quick recall or the introduction of the topic. Then again, example, learn all types of verbs, that is micro learning, and nano learning would be what is an action verb. Switching on to the next topic is why microlearning is here to stay. So it is not just a pandemic strategy. So microlearning thrived during the Zoom fatigue, but it continues to offer long-term benefits. It aligns with neurobiology and cognitive science, and it makes it effective for all the learners. Again, it is personalized and flexible. It adapts to the students' need, media preferences, and learning schedules. And also, it fits the modern education trends of individualized learning path. See, we all know that all individuals learn very differently. So it fits into that trend. Again, it is based on the Pareto principle, that is 80-20 rule. Okay, so the Pareto principle. So it focuses on high impact learning in short time spans. Again, less efforts, more results, and it is a win-win for both teachers and the students. Again, it is built-in reinforcement. It promotes quick cycles of learning, reviewing, and assessing. And also, it helps to embed the knowledge in both short-term and long-term memory. Then the lasting benefits of microlearning: clear goals will give clear assessment. Each module has specific measurable objectives. Also, it makes the evaluation very easier and more focused. It combats the learning fatigue. It reduces the overwhelm by offering short, satisfying accomplishments. Also, it keeps the motivation high and burnout low. Again, it is budget friendly and scalable. It is cost effective alternative in education system with limited resources. Also, it is reusable digital content, so low cost and high impact. Again, microlearning taps into motivation, efficiency, and memory science. It is not a trend and it is the future. So, do you already engage with microlearning in any way? All the teachers out here, perhaps through a fun social media follow or through an educational app on your phone. I would like to share your thoughts on this. All the teachers, do you already engage with microlearning in any way? Would you like to share your views regarding this? You can either raise your hands or you can post in chat box.
Yes, some of them are saying yes. Can you also give some examples of how you're using it? Quizzes through Edpuzzle.
Yeah, most of them are telling yes. Okay. Can you tell how are you using it? Perhaps through social media follow.
Kahoot.
Okay. We don't get so much material for Marathi language. Okay. Shahida ma'am has told video with questions. Okay. Lakshmi ma'am has told imbibe.
Kahoot.
Kahoot again. Pradeep sir has told animated videos. They are quite effective, I guess. Rupali ma'am has told through video and PPT. So we are already using it. It is quite in trend, but I think now we would be using it to a greater extent as we have understood what is micro, nano, and how we can use it. Shahida ma'am has told through
Mentimeter.
yeah, that is also quite effective. YouTube, Rupali ma'am, YouTube video. Again, Shahida ma'am has told short quiz. Yeah. Sangeeta ma'am has told Google 3D videos. Yeah, these are quite trending these days. Moving on to the next topic, that why microlearning works, and it is backed by research. Certain key points I would like to share with you. Cognitive efficiency. So the brain processes best in short bursts, that is 10 to 15 minutes. And microlearning aligns with the hippocampus memory limits and the attention span cycles. So the retention is the retention rate is very high if we are using microlearning. Again, having a neuroscience insight for that, the prefrontal cortex or the hippocampus and the amygdala work together to prioritize, retain, and emotionally anchor the new learning. Like the brain, the parts of the these are the different parts of the brain: the prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, and the amygdala. These are the different parts of the brain that work for us to learn. Okay, so what they do is they together help us to retain and emotionally anchor the new learning. So when the micro learning is happening, it happens at a faster rate. Again, retention boost, repetition with short and varied intervals, it increases long-term memory, and it is shown to improve the recall by up to 19%. So this was a research conducted by the Applied Cognitive Psychology in 2009. So what they have researched is repetition with short and varied intervals increases the long-term memory by 90%. Then again, flexibility and engagement. The learning is customized, it is self-paced, and it works well across the digital platform. So it is very, very ideal for the modern learners, because we all are now modern educators who are catering to these alpha, beta, and Gen Z learners. So we need to adapt this modern technology. Again, subject-based micro-learning examples I would like to share with you. For example, biology. Watch a 2-minute animation of cell mitosis followed by a 5-question quiz. So what we can do is we can show a 2-minute animation to the students, and we can give them quiz based on that video. Again, for history, what we can do, we can analyze a historical meme or an image for 10 minutes, and we can write a 3-line reflection on that. Again, for math, we can solve 3 algebra problems using a game app, and then we can discuss one real life use of that problem. For English, what we can do is say 5-minute grammar correction challenge with 1-minute vocabulary recap. We can do this for English. Then why micro-learning is here to stay? It personalizes the learning path. We have already seen that. Again, it follows the 80-20 rule. That is the Pareto principle. 20% of content delivers 80% of value. So micro-learning targets the core of what is most useful. Again, it reduces the fatigue and increases motivation. Again, it enables agile, low cost, and updatable content. A comparative snapshot of traditional versus micro learning. So what was happening in traditional learning? The length of the session was 45 to 90 minutes. So might be the previous generation of learners, they had that much of ability and attention span, like maybe the generation Y and the generation X, they might be having so much of attention span. So the session in traditional learning, 45 to 90-minute lectures, they were able to attend. And when we talk about micro learning, 5 to 15 minutes. Again, talking about the engagement in traditional learning, the engagement is low over the time. Why? Because the teacher is only talking and talking, the students are only listening. And the engagement is also low, and the learning is also low. And when we talk about micro learning, it is sustained through variety. Why? Because we are focusing on VARK. We are using visuals, we are using auditory, again we are using read and write, we are using the kinesthetic, all these methodologies. And micro learning is definitely helpful. Again, customization. Traditional learning, they have the principle that one size fits all. Through lectures, everyone will learn. This is what is the like aspect of traditional learning. And when we talk about micro learning, it is personalized and modular. Talking about the cost, it is higher in terms of time and material, and micro learning is budget friendly. Talking about the retention, in traditional learning, after 18 minutes, the retention drops, and micro learning is reinforced in cycles. So again and again, if the students are watching the video, or again and again the students are solving the quiz, this will definitely help in retention. The reinforcement of knowledge takes place, and the knowledge is retained in the memory. So what is the neuroscience behind this? 10 to 15 minutes is an optimal window for working memory. Okay. Again, emotion and attention centers are activated. So short bursts keep the learners emotionally and cognitively engaged. And the third part, retention is equal to repetition is equal to retention, that is regular 10-minute modules across the week. help to move the knowledge in the long-term memory. So this is the neuroscience behind it. So if we want that our students should learn our subject very nicely, then definitely we should use the micro-learning and the nano-learning techniques. So how we can use it in our class, how we can get adapted to it. Certain tools and formats I would like to share with you through Google Slides, docs, forms or quizzes or flashcards. Again, through YouTube, ed puzzles for bite-sized videos with checkpoints. Again, we are having Kahoot quizzes for gamified recall activities. Again, we are having Padlets or Jamboard for collaborative summaries. Then we have WhatsApp or we have school app where we can share daily 2-minute concept of the day part. Okay, if we are doing that, this would also definitely be quite helpful. Then efficient tips to get started. We can create a micro learning bank. That would be a 5-minute reusable activity for each unit. Again, we can assign student-led micro lesson as homework or presentations. So definitely this will be helpful for their portfolio as well. And also the student would be motivated so that even we can measure the learning outcome from this. Again, rotate 1 day per week as Micro Monday or Flash Friday. We can have such kind of activities in our school. Then how we can incorporate micro-learning strategies in the classroom. Then why micro-learning? Learners today face screen fatigue and shrinking attention span, and all contents will not hold equal value because students seek clarity and efficiency. So micro-learning will help to maximize learning in minimum time. Then we have already learned what is micro-learning. Bite-sized module, 5 to 15 minutes. Focus on one key idea or concept. Engage attention and boost the retention. And it is ideal for repetition, review, and engagement. Then when we talk about the structure of the micro or nano course, the typical format, again, course length is 5 to 30 days. The module duration can be 5 to 10 minutes. The strength, easy to access, repeat and adapt. Again, it is engaging and mobile friendly. Example, Duolingo and Gnome. It integrates well with traditional teaching. Again, certain considerations we are having, not suitable for complex or layered topics. It may not fit for all learning styles or preferences. And we talk about the content types, short video, images, GIF, then one key concept per module. Again, mini case study or an example. It can be a practice question or it can be a quick task. Again, it can be a learner reflection or a response. Now, is micro learning right for you? So how we can decide whether we should use micro learning for certain topic or we should use nano learning for a topic? So first thing is evaluate fit before you commit. So micro learning is not one size fits for all. So we should reflect on learner attention span. We should reflect on motivation and engagement level of the students. Again, the frustration with fragmented content. It can happen for certain topics. Again, we should respect the time limit. We should keep the modules under 10 to 15 minutes. Again, if it is going longer, we should work on it and we should split the content. Then the third part is design with intention. So every word must serve a purpose. Again, rewrite long form content into clear focused micro lessons. Again, aim for one key takeaway per module. So from one module, one takeaway should be there. We can use varied format. We can mix the media for engagement. We can like combine videos, GIFs and images, or infographics and case studies, or we can have interactive task and quiz, and it supports the multiple learning styles. So we should use micro learning as a supplement and not as a complete replacement. So this is only a supplement to our lessons. Then certain tips how we can quickly create the micro nano learning courses. First is we are going to identify the core learning goals. Like we are going to pinpoint the key concepts from the curriculum, strip the lesson to its bare essentials and keep it focused. Like we can ask, What must the students understand from this short module, whatever we are developing? Then step number 2, we should know your learners. We should consider the age, we should consider the learning styles, we should consider the backgrounds. Again, the preferred formats, video, whether if I'm making a video, whether my students would be able to access the video. If I'm making the quiz, whether my students would be able to access the quiz. If I'm using infographics, whether my children would understand the infographics. So we should keep these things in mind. Again, we should match the content type to the student engagement preferences. Again, very important thing is choose the right platform. So if we are going for online platforms, then we have LMS, we have WhatsApp, we have email, we have Google Classroom, we have Padlet. And if we are thinking of offline platforms, then we have flashcards, we have QR codes, we have mini handouts. So we should be mindful of the tech limits, policies, and the screen fatigue. It should not happen that daily I'm sharing so many videos and students are again having a lot of screen time. So we should switch between online and offline platforms. Again, we should use safe and short multimedia. We should keep the video and audio under 3 to 5 minutes. We should avoid overload and only use what would enhance the clarity. And also, very important thing, comply with the school guidelines. For example, the YouTube and social media. We should keep this in mind. Then again, keep it organized and sustainable. Pitch microlearning effectively. Explain the scientific benefits and please focus on attention, retention, and flexibility. Again, show the value with short assessment and engaging hooks. Address the concern of parents and staff early on. Again, next is stick to the time limit. Build policies like every third module should have question answer time, or use a timer to maintain the focus, or again, we should avoid the sidetracks and redirect long discussions for later. Then we need to organize the content access. We should tag or we should number each module very clearly. Then we should provide an index or tracker for the students to revisit the material easily. Again, we should start small and stay realistic. One goal per module. Not every subject needs microlearning. Please keep this in mind. Again, track what works and iterate, and we should avoid perfectionism. Then again, collaborate and curate. Don't build from scratch. Share with fellow teachers. And again, we can use textbook snippets, OERs, or existing videos and podcasts. How we can include microlearning without overhauling the curriculum? Then we can use microlearning for the struggling students. Like we all might be assessing the high performers, the average performers, the below performers, right? So what we can use is for the students who are struggling to understand certain topic or struggling with some subject, we can use microlearning for them. We can replace the overwhelming remedial work with short focus review videos and mini task or short chats. Again, a certain example, instead of 5 worksheets on fractions, what we can do, a 3-minute explainer video with 3 questions. So isn't it don't you think that this would really work? We sit with the remedial student and we give them 5 worksheet, 10 worksheets, and still they are struggling with the worksheet. Instead of that, if we are giving a 3-minute explainer video to them and then giving them 3 questions to solve, definitely this will be very helpful for the students, as well as it will be helpful for the teachers. It will definitely reduce our workload. Then next is offer 24/7 learning support. We can create an accessible digital library of the bite-sized lessons. For example, we can upload 2-minute voice notes or diagrams explaining the science terms on WhatsApp. Then we can reduce the grading time. How? We can use short auto-graded quizzes or interactive learning games. For example, after each chapter or each topic, if I'm assigning a quiz to the student, then it is like automatically we get the result and the marks of the quiz. Example, a quick Google form quiz after a lesson that gives the instant feedback of how much the students have learned. Again, encourage personal learning. Let the students choose micro module based on their interest or the skill. For example, we can choose 1 minute topic to explore after finishing the main math lesson. Again, we can use microlearning as a homework also, or a pre-class preparation. Like we can assign brief concept videos or articles before the class to activate the prior knowledge. Again, example 4-minute video on water cycle before the main science class. So the students will watch the video and come, and then we can discuss in the class. Then we can blend into the long classes. How? We can break the 50-minute class with a 10-minute micro lesson using a video, a game, or a group quiz. For example, 30-minute lecture, 10-minute Kahoot quiz, and 10-minute recap with a peer. So we can divide our lesson in such manner. Again, support group work and collaboration. So as we all know that collaboration is the 21st century skill, so we need to support that. We can add short tasks for quick wins during the project. For example, each group completes a 5-minute challenge, like a puzzle or a prompt, to build the teamwork and for the students to stay focused. Then certain practical applications for the classroom. Interactive learning menus, we can give them. We can create a menu of short activities of digital or in digital or printed manner with clickable links or cards. Then let the student choose 2 to 3 modules based on their need or interest. For example, a math revision menu with 3-minute videos on fractions, time, and geometry. Again, practical skills library, like we can record or curate how to do videos or guides for the routine task. Then we can use QR code, YouTube links, or printed steps. Like for example, how to cite the sources, how to measure the angles, how to clean paint brushes. So these are certain practical skills. Then again, 3W focus, that is what, why, how. So design every micro module to answer what is it, why is it important, how it is used. For example, a 7-minute lesson on decimals. What will cover the definition of decimal? Why will cover it is used in money and measurement, and how will cover practice converting fractions into decimal. So this would be very effective. That is 3W focus, what, why, and how. Again, back to school or post break onboarding. So we can use microlearning to ease the students into the routines or refresh with prior knowledge. Like for example, first week of school, 5-minute recap of key concepts from the previous grade. So this is an example. Again, peer independent time fillers, while helping the individual, let the rest engage in communication or creativity. For example, explain this science concept in a voice note, or create a meme for grammar rule. We can give certain activities to the students. Again, question answer based micro module, build a question bank of FAQs from your subject. Again, we can link a short module to each common doubt. For example, what is the difference between a simile and a metaphor? So they can watch a 2-minute explainer video for that. Then leveraging microlearning for remote learning. Again, challenge that is based microlearning task. So use real world scenarios to create engaging mini challenges. How? We can divide the task into small parts. Like module 1 would be understand the problem. Module 2 can be brainstorm and prepare a response. Again, module 3 can be present your solution. Like for example, how would you purify water if stranded? This is a question from science. Then students will research on filtration method, and then they can present a 2-minute plan. Again, asynchronous learning flexibility. What we can do is replace long online classes with 3 short modules, that is 5 to 10 minutes each. So we can give the students the day to complete them independently. Then what are the benefits? Spaced repetition will improve the retention. Again, it will encourage the student autonomy and time engagement. Example for history class, watch a short video, then read a primary source, and then answer a reflection quiz. So what will happen, the 5 to 10 minute each module is there, student will have the attention span and they will do it readily. Again, even we are having the diverse platform, like watching a video, then reading something, and then answering the question in the form of quiz. Again, enhancing personalization through microlearning. For example, microlearning time for one-on-one coaching. For example, use microlearning not just to save time, but to gain time for deeper, more personalized interaction with the remote learners. So while students work independently, what we can do is send personal messages. We can record mini feedback videos. Again, we can review the student data and tailor their future lessons. And we can use certain tools like Edpuzzle, we can use Google Forms, we can use Kahoot for interactive quizzes. Again, we can use Google Classroom or Seesaw for assigning and tracking their modules. A reflection question to everyone out here. Think about the current ways that you teach. Is there anything that you do that you know is longer and it needs to be reasonably swapped out with shorter activity? So I would like you to reflect on your classes and your teaching methodologies. And what do you think is very longer and needs to be swapped up with a shorter activity? I would like you to raise your hands and answer this question, or you can post your answers in the chat box.
As of now, there are none.
Yeah, what?
Hmm.
So today, what are you teaching you feel is very, very long and I need to replace it with a shorter activity? I would like you to share your thoughts on this.
Like what you said, right, ma'am? Like whenever I think we are introducing a topic, right? We go on and on and on about the topic. So we could use what you just said, that, maybe we could send a precursor video to the children so that they go through it. And then our talk time is reduced and they tell us about whatever they learn from the video as the introduction of a topic. That is one thing which I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. That don't you think it will reduce our energy as well
Yes,
to reach
yes,
out
yes,
to all the students? Yeah.
yes, yes.
Would anyone else like to share your thoughts regarding that? Please post your answers in the chat box.
Child-centered learning. You can give some examples, Sangeeta ma'am. You can unmute if you're very active participant today. Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am. You can unmute and you can talk as well. Teachers, here you're giving examples of what you're doing currently, which you feel is taking longer time and can be swapped with something which ma'am has suggested during her sessions. Some ideas.
You can give a specific example with your subject and your topic. Like, for example, to teach, we have already seen that example of water cycle. First, we can suppose if I want to teach water cycle tomorrow, today I will send a short video on that. Students will watch that video and then we would be discussing in the class.
Yes.
So, can you give some more examples like that? Like how you can implement micro and nano learning in your subjects or in your classrooms?
Maybe as a reflection, what happens is we keep asking children, right, what you have learned, what you have learned. Rather than doing that, we can ask the why, what, and how question which you said about. So maybe that time we can easily do a recap with those questions. Okay, Sangeeta ma'am has said that talking for long about a topic, it's good to show example. I need to teach seed germination. I can show that by sowing seeds and show day by day growth. Very nice.
Very nice.
And
Day by day, it would be divided into chunk of information.
yes.
Today we have sowed the seed. Then after
Hmm.
a few days, another chunk of information that the shoot has sprouted. Again, after days, like we can see a stem or the leaf, something like that. Yeah,
So the
very
children will remember that.
good example. Yes, ma'am. Very good example.
And students come prepared with quiz or questions that they want to question their friends maybe in the class about what they want to learn also.
Sure. Okay.
Instead of using blackboard diagrams, using models or PPT to demonstrate diagrams in science.
That would be definitely very effective method, isn't it? Yeah. Using models or PPT to demonstrate the diagrams in science. Again, experimental learning, Sangeeta ma'am has told. Ma'am, can you
Yes.
give some specific examples, Sangeeta ma'am? Experimental learning on what topic?
Flipped teaching is, yes.
Teaching, yeah.
Yes. Relating the news to social studies. Yes.
Very nice example, Shahida ma'am. So I think that's it from my side today. Handing over to you, Anuradha ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Sangeeta ma'am has said that for teaching sink and float, we can show them so that the students will easily understand.
Practical demonstration.
Yes, practical demonstration. Yes. So thank you, Miss Amira Ansari, for delivering such a meaningful and engaging session on the power of nano and micro learning. Your tips like bite-sized videos, quick quizzes, flashcards, gamifications were both practical and inspiring for us. And let us all be mindful of time. The briefer, the better is something which I like what you said in the session. And let us teach, reteach until we master. Yeah, so these are few key points that we can start working on. You have shown us how small, focused learning moments can lead to powerful student engagement. We truly appreciate the clarity, the passion, and innovation you have brought to the session. With heartfelt gratitude, we look forward to applying these strategies in our classroom. And there are no more questions or inputs from the teachers. And participants, please note that the certificate, the form is also being shared in the chat box. As we conclude this powerful learning experience, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Salam sir and Mr. Pillai sir for their inspiring leadership. Miss Amera Ansari, thank you for such an impactful session, ma'am. I was making so many running notes when you were speaking, so thank you so much for that. And to each one of you, thank you for your attention, curiosity, and commitment to growth. Your involvement inspires us to organize many more exciting sessions. We look forward to seeing you at our next event featuring another distinguished resource person. Let us continue to empower our students, not just academically, but holistically too, because their future deserves nothing less. Thank you once again, everyone. Stay inspired, stay impactful. Over to you, Salam, sir.
Thank you, Miss Anuradha and Miss. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, your voice is breaking in between.
The thing is that 1 minute. Let me. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss Amir, can you make me host? You are the host now.
Yes, sir.
Connected.
Yes, sir. Now you are the host.
Now you are the host.
No, still not. Extra mile, extra mile.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, then I have to make 1 minute.
Yes, now I think Extra Mile is also the host.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Miss Amira, as
Miss
usual,
Amira,
it
as
was
usual,
very
it was
good
very
learning.
good learning.
And I don't think anybody has, touched upon this topic deeply in such a, very, what do you call, scientific manner. You have covered all the, aspects of mini and micro learning. And it, indicates that our teaching should be, very well planned, uh, taking care of the attention span, that's very short attention span of students nowadays. Uh, Traditional teaching has no room anymore during this scenario. So we have to be very careful, dear teachers. Let us stop, lecturing. Still, in many schools, many classrooms, the lecture method is going on, but we have to understand that the effectiveness is very less during lecture method. So we have to include micro and nano learning in our classroom. So thank you so much once again, all the participants for joining. And let us give a very big, round of applause to Miss Amira. She really deserves this because, preparing for such a fathom learning, a very deep learning, I should say, is not an easy task. And delivering with such clarity is another great performance. We should
Yes,
all
with examples for
appreciate
every
Miss
subject also, right,
Amira.
sir?
She is doing, I think she has been doing a lot of sessions. This is the 8th or 9th session, I believe.
I'm
So thank you
honored,
so
sir.
much.
I'm honored, sir. That is your guidance and support.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anuradha, ma'am, for
Thank you,
your
sir.
constant support.
Honored, sir.
It was, your presence is very gracious and you are very supportive to the resource person and the participants as well.
Thank
So
you,
thank
sir.
you, everybody. Viju sir, are you there? All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Keep in
Thank you,
touch.
sir. Thank you, ma'am. Good
Thank
night.
you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.